student at Wayne State. I was born in Hong Kong, and I moved to Detroit when I was 4, in '86. So I was actually adopted. My parents are Chinese, Cantonese. They're Cantonese, actually.
Dominic Perino. I was born in Italy, and I was raised in Argentina, South America, Buenos Aires.
And what brought you to Detroit?
We came with my parents, but we had a lot of relatives from Italy, so that's why we came over here in Detroit.
I'm original for Ecuador, for coming for the country called Esmeraldas. I came to the United States in 1975. I'm married to somebody for Detroit. He was a missionary for the Baha'i faith. I was a member of the Baha'i faith in Ecuador. For 1975 to now, I'm living in Detroit.
My name is Igor Gozman. I came from Russia. It's already 17 years ago. On the way here, it was a long travel, several months. We ended up originally in New York. And I came to New York as a Russian refugee. It was the last kind of echelon of Russian Jews who left the country under this umbrella. As soon as after we left, the wall came down. So we arrived here as refugees in New York. And then I spent a couple of months in New York, and then I escaped New York. So I kind of double refugee.
It was very difficult. One, because I don't have enough family at all. The only family I had was my kids and my husband. In the neighborhood we live, nobody speaks Spanish. I live in 6 Mile Road in Wyoming. And it was that way for at least 6 months. I never speak Spanish with nobody outside my kids.
Since we arrived here, we were making puppets. And of course, just because we used to do that before, back there in Russia, it was our profession.
Okay.
We worked in the puppet theaters since late 70s.
My parents own a restaurant in 6 Mile Woodward. It's as operational in the city since the 50s, so it's been there for like 50 years.
So we incorporated, of course, as a non-profit organization, and that's when Puppet Art was born as an official name for our group. And IBEW, the electricians union, did a tremendous job. They came and put all these electrical part things together, and it was probably the first most important support, a feeling that we may find support here.
When my kid was going to college, he bring everybody for college to the house. Ma, you cook so great. I said, no worry, one day I will open my restaurant. But I say, we don't have any money at all, why we can do that? For over 10 years, I always said, that building is mine. And not say it's gonna be mine. I said, it's mine. People believe me. He said, that's a you building. I said, yeah, that's what my restaurant gonna be. That's my dream come true. That's the way I own Doña Lola restaurant. I borrowed money. I sold my car back in Ecuador. I packed my jewelry. I fixed all the bills. I only have $200 left.
Parents moved, they're from the same village, but they left at the separate points in time. Like my mom left and like went to Hong Kong and then went to San Francisco. My dad moved here moved to Detroit basically because his dad ran the restaurant and he was getting sick. He was in Arizona at the time, so when he got sick, he moved to Detroit and moved back here with him.
I did work about a month when I came over here in Forbes.
Okay.
And then I guess it went on strike. And then I decided to look for a job, you know. So with a relative, we went to a couple of dealerships. I couldn't speak English, so by looking at the book, you know, the owner used to say if I knew that, I know what he was showing me, but I couldn't. So that's how I ended up working on a Jaguar dealer, you know, on the east side for 5 years. Right now we own a small auto repair with my brother. Basically, we were content just to work, to be like a family business. And appreciate, you know, the customers and become like a family, you know. A lot of time, you know, the bigger you go, you know, you lose that. And we could have, you know, gone for a bigger place, and but we felt like we were comfortable with what we were doing, you know. And it's like a small doctor office, you know. You don't have to have a clinic. So we decided just to take care of the customer, you know, with less overheads, you know. And I hope we make an impact in whoever we were dealing with it, you know.
We should set that theater up, this type of theater, with a permanent troupe, with a permanent repertoire, and we will run it as we used to run theater back there in Russia, in old Russia, Soviet Russia. So that's how we started to look for the place. We believe that the theater is supposed to be, the criteria to choose the place for the theater for us was simple. It's got to be either in geographical center of the whole area we want to serve, or in downtown of the area we want to serve. And we ended up here in downtown. But when we moved here, we're thinking about two things we need to resolve. Should we still be puppet art as we want it to be? And do we want to stay as a Russian puppet theater? And we decided that it must be Detroit puppet theater, and we should step away from Russian puppet theater. There is a very thin line between, on the one hand, preserving authenticity, your own personal national identity, and assimilation. It's more than the job itself. It was telling us that we're really going to bring something which is looks like important for the people of the city.
In '82, when the Cubans came to Michigan, you can see it was a lot of Spanish down here, you know. You can see the growing Spanish, Mexicans start coming to living down here. You see the change in between '82 and now. Now, every place you go inside the Mexican town, everybody speaks Spanish. Or the business in here, people speak Spanish. Entonces, people start feeling comfortable. And most of the people who are still coming, they come to live in Southwest Detroit because for the Spanish community. And you can see the Spanish community is growing more and more every day. There's so many business, restaurant, store. Everybody want to put their little business, use like we do back home. Everybody got a little business. That's what we're trying to do here. Everybody trying to do something. And this is great. 4 years now. Yeah, you're still in business. Thank you to the DLR, and to the community, to the people who believe in me. He come far away to see Doña Lola. They not only like the food, they like Doña Lola. They feel like home. Come and see me again.
So there is a lot of culture difference. A lot of, there used to be an Italian, Polish neighborhood, and now there is more like Orientals, I like the environment, a different culture, that's how you can appreciate what you know and what you're gonna learn, basically. But I'm not an expert, but I do enjoy, the different cultures.
the beauty what we found here, with all complexity, all problems and difficulties, but the beauty is that community, the people are able to live within the family, within the small community of several families by their own traditional rules, with some deviation from what it would be in the homeland.
My kids went back home every year to Ecuador. They're still going every year to Ecuador. The grandkids are going now every year to Ecuador. He live in a farm. You have to make sure, never make the kids forget. I don't care how much we giving to them, how much we have here. Make sure you kids know where the roof the people came from.
Right now there is a different generation, the younger people, and I hope they will stick around in the city and go for it. It's a good environment overall. It's a nice town, and like I say, right now there is a gap in generations. We are a little bit disconnected. We just gotta find a point that we can go from there.
I have my car repaired in the shop whose owner Syrian, from Syria. He came here when he was 17. And it's one of these wonderful things I experienced when we had very interesting conversations. Because over here we're standing kind of on two different opposite sides of the conflict on the Middle East, but we are able to talk. I think key is here. See, we have this power to have a conversation. We have the power to step out of the actual conflict, region of the conflict, and to find a solution.
The Spanish neighborhood is growing every day more and more. Just give us time, that's it. We're not going no place, we're staying here. That's the way it is, we stay in here. I'm not going no place.
It's not a matter of what this city will become, it's a matter of what will the people eventually do for this city.